Alright, bro, I wanted to quickly leave my thoughts when it comes down to Age of Mythology Retold, okay? I played this game. I picked it up about like 2 months ago or something like that. I don't know, it was a while ago. Anyway, when the game came out, I picked it up when when it dropped on, I forget when. So anyways, bro, I played it. The graphics are freaking rough. Holy crap. I mean, man, I prefer the character models so much more in Age of Empires 4. I love that game so much. It's such a good game. Holy crap. But, you know, I just love the character models in that game compared to Age of Mythology Retold. However, I do love the diversity of units in Age of Mythology Retold, and I can kind of look past the lower resolution and also just, it's an older game. Okay. But, I mean, you know, everything looks good for what it is. How old the game is. The way that relics work is different. Instead of giving you bonus income, it gives you some unique and like multiple different upgrades and like damage boosts or like health regen. It gives you all kinds of interesting stuff. So like relics are really powerful in Age of Mythology, and I actually kind of like them. Although there's so many of them and there's so many of these bonuses, it kind of feels like it's like impossible to really keep up with it, you know? If you lose your relics, I don't even know how you really just fathom the idea like, oh, I just lost all those bonuses, right? I don't really know how you keep up with it if you're in a really competitive match, but whatever. Outside of that, and some of them do become really redundant the more relics you get, but I don't think that's going to be an issue most of the time. I do like that you can have 12 player lobbies. That's pretty cool. I think that's the maximum number, which is huge. The music's really good in this game, by the way, and I never knew. I mean, you have a lot of older games, and this is something weird that I've noticed, is that a lot of older games have much more beautiful soundtracks. Nowadays, soundtracks just suck, and they have no personality whatsoever, especially in this era of wokeness and DEI. I hate it, but anyway. The music in this game is beautiful. I mean, you will be listening to it, and it's great to listen to. It just like, I don't know, it's like you're having this spiritual moment with the game as you're playing it. But I will be honest, there comes a point, it's kind of funny to say this, I mean, I guess you can just reduce the volume of the music, but like, bro, when music is this good and just blaring in your freaking ears the entire time you're playing, you hear this freaking woman or whatever kind of chanting that you're hearing in these different choruses or songs that's playing, it's a little bit nauseating, you know, hearing like overpowering music all the time. Even though it's really good, it's like, dude, I mean, this stuff is hitting hard, you know, and it's this music that's like bigger than life. And when you're experiencing bigger than life audio for like 9 hours straight or whatever, you know, air quotes on that, say you play this game just a lot, and every time you pick it up, you're just getting blared out by this freaking chanting music and whatnot, that is just really overpowering. It's just gonna freaking, it's gonna get to you. You're gonna be like, okay, wow, this is too much. But I guess that's why you would just reduce the volume of the music. That's my assumption. So maybe it's not that big of a deal, but holy crap, you listen to it long enough, it's gonna get under your skin. So anyway, the way that you build your towns is kind of annoying. The way that you organize your villagers is a lot like, you know, here's the thing I don't like. You can't place your town center wherever you want. It has to be in specific locations. Now, the mechanic's interesting. You can only make so many houses, but every single town center you get multiplies the effect of your houses. So if you get more town centers, you can only get so much on a map. The more that you get, that multiplies greater your housing based on the number of houses. So that's actually kind of cool, and like, I'm not actually completely against it, but it's kind of annoying. I do prefer a system like Age of Empires 4 where you can just place your buildings wherever you want. I like that more. That's just me, okay? But I do appreciate it for what it is. A lot of units, by the way, are very diverse and unique. gameplay wise and whatnot in this game, and I really like that too. You have a lot of mythological units. They're cool. Some of them have unique abilities. A lot of them have different abilities. You can build a Titan, by the way. That guy is super hard to kill, and it's really cool. You can play as like Thor, Loki, Odin. You can play as a whole bunch of other biatches from different pantheons. I mean, you can play as, I think, Terra and Gaia and Zeus, I believe. I think Hermes is another one. You can play as Hades. You can play as a bunch of biatches, and I love it, you know, because they all have different skills and abilities and upgrade paths and units that you can unlock by tapping into them, right? If you go the route of Hades or whatever, or there's gods within the faction of a god. So you go the route of, I forget who gives a crap. Anyways, you go down someone's route. It's basically aging up with like one of two building choices in Age of Empires 4. But specifically, it unlocks for you specific units, that's number one. And two, maybe a specific ability or certain upgrades for specific units. So it's really cool and I like it. It feels like the game's a lot more customizable. And by the way, I swear to God, they came out with this game, Age of Mythology Retold, because they want to come out with a sequel for Age of Mythology, and they should, because I love the game. But here's the reason why I don't like it, okay? I'm about to share with you why I put down the game. I was disappointed by the game and frustrated by it. Playing Age of Empires is terrible on console, unless you have the auto priority system, okay? It's that simple. If you have the auto priority system like you do in Age of Empires 4, you can pretty much survive the game. I don't know if you can play at the best of the best level against players who are just like platinum maybe or diamond. I don't know yet. I would imagine you can, because I've been able to rock against some really high level players on console. But it's really taxing, I'm gonna tell you, playing on console. I mean, it's so hard to multitask because, bro, fine controls on a controller is terrible. You need a freaking mouse if you're going to do multiple fine tasks on screen. You have to do it with a freaking mouse. It's just so annoying. But I will say this, I mean, like, the main reason I really get annoyed playing a game like Age of Empires is largely because you have to manually tell villagers what they have to work on and what they don't have to work on. You have to tell them, take out that forest over there, take out this stone node, gold node over there, over here, everywhere. You have to tell them to go do that manually. I hate that. I love the auto system and that they just do whatever, okay? And I love that. Now, that is in Age of Mythology Retold. Now, what's the issue? Oh, by the way, day one I was playing the game and the servers were not working. I'm hoping they're working now, but I was really upset with that too. So I wasn't able to get into a lot of legitimate matches at all against other players. That was really difficult to do. Even in custom lobbies, I could barely. I don't think I was able to get into a single multiplayer lobby. What the frick? Anyway, so that was upsetting. I was not happy with that, but I hope it's better now. I'll tell you that. I don't know what this game is like playing against other people. I'm going to be clear on that too. But again, I love the customization. Customization through all the myriad of choices you have, and every faction is very unique from one to the other. So that's something I really love about this game, and I can tell, bro, if they make a sequel that's a lot like Age of Empires 4 for Age of Mythology 2, it's gonna be freaking great, and I will love that game. I will pick it up. Again, what's the issue with this game? The auto priority system does not work in this game, and it can literally be shut off. When you play ranked, for instance, it's shut off. I think even when you go through normal matchmaking, it's shut off. That is stupid, and I hate it, because that is literally the only reason me as a console player, I play these games, is only because I have the auto priority system. And by the way, it works just fine in Age of Empires 4 to do that. So I don't know why they decided in this game, unless it was a bug, maybe it was, I don't know, I can't tell. And And maybe they patched it out by now. Maybe, I don't know. But whatever it is, they don't want you using the auto priority system outside of largely, well, even in custom lobbies, you can turn it off, which is retarded. It's like, why? Do you really like? Why is it that Age of Mythology Retold really hates console players that much, even though you're literally selling a console version of the game? Okay, bro. I mean, it just makes no sense. And auto priority isn't even that big of an advantage. So why would you shut it off? I don't get it. But okay. Well, anyway, I like the units. The game's largely fun. Again, it's just, but you know what? I am going to say this. The game is a lot more annoying to control and play compared to Age of Empires 4. They should have just copied the way that you utilize and play through Age of Empires 4 and just copy it onto Age of Mythology, because that game is so much more refined. It's like you're making a remaster for the game, Age of Mythology, so why not just use the most up-to-date controls and put it into Age of Mythology? I know you guys can freaking do it. Freaking do it. They added the auto priority, so what the frick are you looking at? What are you waiting for? Jeez Louise, man. So anyways, that was upsetting me. And like, this is the reason why I quit the game. I was like, you know, developers, if you really want players like me to stick around and you want the game to survive on the console player base, stop trying to make things, one more time, stop trying to make things freaking frustrating for your players. It's not worth it. It's not going to keep us around. I quit the game on day 2 of playing. Okay? Day 2 of the game being out. So I did enjoy it for what it was, even though it was an older game and it wasn't as nice to look at as Age of Empires 4. But regardless, I was willing to get into it and love it. And the problem is that the controls are super wonky and annoying, and it's not as integrated as Age of Empires 4. There's no excuse for this. You guys have the other game that is clearly superior, and you're sitting here and you just refuse to do it. Okay, you guys screwed yourselves over. So those are all my thoughts. I enjoy all the units. I like the fact that you can create a Mega Titan. Oh, and by the way, there is a cap on the villagers. It's 100 villagers. And I actually do like that. So you don't have to like stop villager production and continue it. The game will just continuously make villagers up until 100. So the more town centers you get, the faster you get villagers. So that's cool. And by the way, when the game is utilizing the auto farming feature, the auto priority system that is, for the villagers, I like it. It works just fine, but it's only if it's working. And again, the freaking UI system is terrible. It's so annoying to work through on console. It's like, again, you guys should have just copied over from Age of Empires 4. The UI is terrible to navigate. I don't know how they screwed it up, but they did. And the same thing is a huge issue when you're trying to set up a trade route for your freaking trade caravans. It's terrible. I don't know what it is, but they were... Again, you guys have Age of Empires 4. What the frick were you thinking? You were going to make a remaster and not just modernize all these systems that are perfect in Age of Empires 4? Even though it's really taxing to do as a console player, at least I can do it. At least it's as easy as possible on console, and it's still annoying. But then they just decided, screw console, you guys are just going to suffer going through UI systems. We're not going to allow the auto priority system to be enabled in most of your lobbies, especially if you do ranked. Then it's completely disabled. What the frick? And we're just going to make trade really annoying to utilize. Well, what the frick? And by the way, it doesn't even make sense how trade works, because it looks like you can trade with town centers, I guess. Okay. It makes no sense, and they don't really explain it to you. So that's also another issue, is that they don't bother telling you what the frick you're playing and how to play it in this specific game. So really frustrating. I don't know how new players, especially on console, but new players in general, I don't know how they're going to like this game. But for me, it just brought me to the point where I just wanted to put down the game, and quite frankly, I haven't picked it up. And I would like to, but right now, I just haven't been given a reason to pick it back up.